I'm going to be showing you guys how to change all your speakers on your A80 Supra. Let's go. As most of you already know, this is Tenshi, my 1995 Twin Turbo 6-speed Toyota Supra, JDM, right-hand drive. And we are going to be changing all 6 speakers, starting with the door speakers, the tweeters, right here, and the rear speakers. I've had Tenshi for about 2.5 years now, and the speakers have sucked the entire time. I have no idea what's in them, but I'm ready to change them because they're garbage, so let's go. I also got these adapters that replace the factory airbox that are in each door panel. Unlike a lot of the channels that you have to ask in the comments because they want you to comment, the link for these, Amazon, is down in the description. I'm not sponsored by them, I just like this product and I'm going to show you how to use it. The speakers I got were these Recoil Echo Series component speakers. Separate tweets obviously, and they look really cool, not that I'm going to be able to see them. These are 6.5-inch speakers, and the only reason that I actually purchased these is because my good friend Jerry suggested them. He knows car audio better than most people know the strength of their dominant hand, if you know what I'm saying. I took a chance and got these things super cheap, and if they turn out well, I will add the link to the description. So in order to take the door panel off, you got to do a few things. Take out these 2 securing points. On these guys, you want to push in the center. Bleep. God, why can't I focus? There we go. You have screws 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom here. Do not forget the screw inside of your door handle. If you still have it, there's a screw underneath the nipple here. 2 pop sockets back here. Pop socket. Ha, that's funny. We're on the floor already. Can you just relax, please? So, for these ones, when you push in the center pin, it actually just makes the pin go down. So these little pins I'm talking about, literally all I mean is that they do this. Boop. That's all. And then, they just really, really nicely, and maybe not as easy as I say, pull out. Get your nail under it and pull it out. It's very nice. And it goes down, and that like unlocks it. They come out so nicely. Oh, crazy. These aren't clips. These are covers. There's a screw underneath it. That's pretty cool. I'm not afraid of hurting the damn clips or the covers. I'm afraid of putting a freaking hole in this 30-year-old leather. That's what I'm afraid of. I do not want to damage this car at all. I love this car. Apparently there's some glue down here, yep. Door wouldn't come out, so I took off the door handle cover, plastic bezel piece, and inside is a screw. Let me show you. That one little screw is all we have left. Oh, almost botched it. Yes. Hey, go ahead and have your window down for this so you can actually take it out so you're not struggling like me. This is old. Oh no. Well, we have made the correct choice, boys and girls. Hey, did you guys know that I'm stupid? Because I am. God, what is wrong with me? Well, I guess we'll find out if I'm missing anything later when I go to install everything. Because I am stupid. Come here for a second. Here's our speaker. I don't know if you guys can tell, but something might be a little off here. It's supposed to be one piece. I'm just saying. So here is the factory airbox that everybody's talking about. It is a huge, just piece of crap. Let me take it out and I'll show you a little better. I see a lot of videos on YouTube doing things like this, which are cool, but none of them actually go into detail about what you have to do. They just assume that you're going to figure it out yourself, and that the reason why they do that is they want you to ask questions down in the comments. I don't give a crap if you guys ask me questions in the comments. I'd like you to, that would be awesome, but it's not my goal here. My goal here is to give you guys content. I would like you guys to be able to do everything that I do on this channel. These are one of the things that I need to show you guys because it's annoying to me that no one said this while they were doing it. This guy right here. It's held on by two little tiny clips that are on each side. So there's one on this side and one on this side. You just push them in, and then it's just like another one of these stupid things, and it's very difficult and it's very hard, and yeah, you'll get it done though. This is a 4-inch speaker. This is a 6-inch speaker. It's not that much bigger. It's, you know, not made in the 90s, and it's gonna sound a lot better. Hopefully. We have no idea what's gonna happen. But the reason why they made these was because you could put a far cheaper, far smaller speaker that fits a lot better into the door card of the Supra, and it would sound like a 6.5 speaker because of the way the acoustics work in these boxes. But I also wanna make sure that this guy lines up. That's what she's gonna look like instead. Lines up perfectly. Look at that. You can see through the holes already. That's awesome. For the sake of sheer curiosity, we're going to take it apart. Oh, that's cool. Oh, see? Here you go. This is an outlet. This is like a port on the airbox. Look, all the sound travels in, and this is actually a vent, like a port on a subwoofer box. I lied to you guys. This ain't coming off. It's all right. Old factory airbox is out. Boom. Look at that. Well, here goes nothing. Take a pick or a scribe of some sort, and you should be able to. Yes, it's real. Yo, there's no way it's that simple. All the homies were like, yo, you gotta pull your dash out. It's not worth it. Don't even change it. I'm just like, why would I pull the dash out? This is so hard to do with only one person. My God. Now, why aren't you coming out and put the camera down? That there's the tweeter. See if we can get a weird angle just to show you guys. Got the camera in a really good spot to where we can show you guys how to do tweeters. You don't want to fucking pry on it, but you do want to put some good force on it because it's kind of glued in there. Slowly and equally around the edges. Put some upward pressure. And go up. This is what you'll be left with. It's this really ugly freaking thing, but here's the top cover. This is what all the speakers look like when they're like been sitting here since friggin' Vietnam. I don't know if you can see that. That thing is crunchy. I wonder if you can hear it. Let me. It's a very big magnet under here. It's super duper strong. There you go. And the speaker should come out. Don't worry about everything just looking like crap, because remember, it's 25 years old. It's a piece of crap, so don't worry about it. All you're going to cut as close to the terminals as possible, as close to the metal. The red and black wires. There we go. So yeah, it's a real piece of crap. Actually, it's not bad. It lasted 25 years. You'll see here that it has a capacitor right here. The capacitor right there on the tweeters is so when you turn on the car and if there's any popping or banging or anything like that, capacitor absorbs it and doesn't send it to the tweeter, and then the tweeter kind of charges up like HID lights. I think that's how it works. If anyone knows actually how it works, leave it down in the comments, but I'm not going to put a new one of these on my new setup because we're doing a component style, so I don't have to. Let me show you guys what this looks like from the top so you can actually see it, so you kind of know what to end up with. Please. Sitting in the back seat for anyone who's not like 4'6" is impossible. You can't, like, nothing happens correctly. We're taking out the rear speakers now. So Toyota made it very easy for us. All we have to do is pop off this here panel, which I will probably break because I'm the best. Nope, I'm the man. I don't want, oh my God. Eat. Holy crap, dude. Look at this. Alright, so sitting back here kind of sucks. You just, oh dude, the hatch is open. I was like, how do I fit back here all of a sudden? If the hatch, all we have to do is undo the hatch and we can sit back here. We have a rear convertible. I don't think that's legal. Either way, this is pretty cool. I feel, oh dude, the headrest is so comfy. What the hell? The back seats are incredibly comfortable. Actually, we could fit a baby seat back here. I've done it before. But yeah, so I would suggest if I was you guys, I would sit right here in the center where these seat belts are, and then get to pulling the rear speaker. Like I said before, man, filming by yourself is really kind of annoying, but whatever. So apparently you don't even have to use a screwdriver on this, but I don't like not doing that because I like to get right up underneath it and kind of just twist on the screwdriver a little bit. Boom. Easy. Oh, look, some of the speaker materials are already coming out. As you can probably guess, this speaker also looks like garbage. So, just a better look at this then. 1, 2, they're the holders. 3, this is a holder as well. And this one's just a guide pin, which is why you kind of want to come out as straight as possible. There's a dead animal in here. That's cool. Get out of there. Hey, get out of there. How did you even get in here, dude? Is this like a 25-year-old insect? Did I find a dinosaur? This is a fossil? How did you get in here? Oh, it's a bee. So here's a little better angle. Check this out. All the supporting diaphragm is gone. This is crazy. There we go. Dice again. There we go. Speaker is out. We make discoveries because we're stupid. I just put the window down, but I couldn't put the window down earlier, even with the car in the on position, because the other door card wasn't on. So, friendly fact. If you realize that your window doesn't roll down and your car's on, all that stuff, put the other door card on because they're probably wired in series some way. So, yeah. Lessons learned.
Yeah, don't be stupid like him.
Say again, babe?
So don't be stupid like him.
Don't be stupid like me. Don't forget the one in the bottom corner. Wow, that's crazy how easy this comes out now that I took all the fucking things out. So really quickly, I'm just going to go over the plan. We have these Recoil REM65 Echo Series speakers. They're 6.5 component speakers. What that means is that there is a woofer and a tweeter. This is not a regular speaker. If you just hook this up, you're going to get a lot of the mids and lows, but it's not a subwoofer. There's a difference. This is just mids. There's no coaxial speaker in there. It's just mids. So we have to use the tweeters that they gave us. When you take apart the tweeter, by just taking apart the box, you have this low profile speaker. That will fit in our stock tweeter location. We are back in the Supra. It is Sunday and my friend can't help, but it's alright because I pretty much know what I need to do. This is a two-way crossover. What you have is you have power going in, positive and negative, power going out to the tweeter, and power going out to the woofer. Since we're using component style speakers, we have to separate the tweeter and the woofer's power. We can't just use the stock wiring because you will blow the tweeters. So, unlike a lot of other videos, I'm actually going to show you what the heck I'm doing and why I'm doing it to make it so that these actually sound a lot better than just using coaxial speakers, for instance. It's going to have a lot more separation of the sound coming out. That way you can have clearer sound when you actually play music. First thing I did is I popped open the cap. It kind of just pops open. And you see that there's a thing right here. This comes out. It's basically just a jumper. You have a decibel reading. Gary already used these speakers and he told me, hey man, the tweeters are really powerful, which is hilarious because they're so small. So we're going to change it from 0 to -2. There on the bottom, it's on -2 down here. So first step done. We did that on all 4 of these because we don't want the tweeters to be ear-piercingly loud. So how this is going to work is we have to find a spot inside here that we can clean, and then we're going to put 2 pieces of double-sided tape on the back and stick it there. But before that, we have to measure out our wires and even make some cuts so we can put the tweeters in a special spot on this here rear side. Because remember, we have tweeters for the back and the front. So the front's going to be kind of annoying, I think, but we're going to make it work. The rears are going to be equally as annoying. So let's get right into it. The power coming in is going to come from these stock speaker wires, which are right here. And the reason why we're doing that is because they're already here. We already know that they have good power coming to it from the head unit and from the harness, and that will power this box. And then we just have to make wires to go to the tweeters and to the woofer. So let's do that. So we're going to cut a little bit extra wire than we think we need because it's always good to have extra. We also have to extend the stock wiring just a little bit. It just happens to be a skosh too short, which is awesome and annoying. Man, I really do wish I had the proper tools here. In order to remain consistent, I am going to then call the copper wire positive and the silver wire ground. That way I never ever get confused on which one is which. I find it much easier to take the screw out, wrap the cable around it, and then screw it in. It just makes it cleaner. I just remembered that the tweeters actually come with wire already attached to them, so I don't have to wire the tweeter wires that I just did to these, which is a huge saving grace. So, leave those loose and just move these right over to the speakers. Might as well, while we're in here, take a gander at these. The speakers have this type of connection, the typical connection on speakers, and yeah, it says positive and negative right there. So we'll be able to easily install these. Since we know that, positive is, what color is positive? It's copper, that's right. Not because it's supposed to be, but because I say it is. Because I need to have some accountability, and I have a terrible memory, so let's see what happens here. After far too long, we have both of our rear crossovers with their woofer and power cables installed. Now comes the fun part. The next step here is to take our tweeter, put it back here, and figure out that it's absolutely going to fit right back here. See this little nipple right there? It's going to fit right there. What we're going to have to do is cut out a circle. That's actually a circle. Like, I don't know what it's there for, but there's a circle right there. And we're eventually going to take the tweeter and put it through that hole that we cut out, and then we're going to pull the wire back out of the hole, keep the speaker there forever, and then hook this up to the crossover, and then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. This is the first time I'm going to be cutting into the Supra, and I'm not just cutting it. I'm going to be using a soldering iron, and I'm going to push it through, and hopefully my car won't catch on fire. And I'm just hoping to melt out a good enough circle to where I can clean it up with the razor and then shove the tweeter through. Thankfully, we have this circle here. Literally the perfect guide. But all we're doing is using the soldering iron to melt the material and making a very rough circle. I know what I'm doing here is pretty unorthodox, but realistically, it's just going to give us a better sound, and it's going to be completely hidden. The only people who are going to know that this is here is you guys. It's actually a pretty snug fit. I don't even think I'll have to glue that. The only other thing we're going to have to do is when we finally go to install the cover to make everything hidden, unfortunately, some of this material here, I have to make a couple adjustments, but that's fine. Everything's going to still look great. I used some glass cleaner because that's what you use, Windex, for everything, and I cleaned the surface in there. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to solder these two stock wires for the speaker that used to be here to the extenders that we put on the inside of the crossover. The first thing we're going to do is actually test everything. We're just going to put the wires together kind of willy-nilly, and we're just going to make sure that everything works, because the last thing I want to do is solder these together and then nothing work. Holy shit. Look at the size of that. That's crazy. I don't know what it is, but it's gorgeous, but I want nothing to do with it. Wow. Okay. So this is exciting. They work really, really well. So the next thing that we're going to do is take off the electrical tape that we put on there temporarily and get some solder on it. I don't like using connectors because I'm horrible at it and they always seem to come apart. So I just solder it because I know how to solder and I don't ever plan on taking these out again. We put our double-sided tape, does not have to be pretty, on the two-way crossover. Let me show you guys this. This is exciting. There it is. It's just sitting right there. Everything's still connected. Everything is tight. We're ready to install the speaker. Turns out that the aftermarket speaker did not line up perfectly, but we used the long screws that it came with and kind of put them in at an angle. The speaker is tight like a tiger. So I didn't really go over it on the other side, but one of the common mistakes that people make when they're soldering is that they don't heat up. Oh God, they burn themselves. No, they don't heat up the pole enough. So obviously you have your positive and your negative poles. Put that thing on there. Put that thing on there for a minute, let it heat up, because what you're doing is you're going to fuse this solder to the wire that's laying on it. So once you get a nice bead of solder rolling, just kind of hold it there. And you'll see it. It'll attach all the way on the thing. You'll see the terminal, if you will, of the speaker start to fill up with the solder. That's how you know. It'll like melt down into it. You don't need much. You don't need much at all. So if you look here, right here, you'll see that the terminal, it's literally got solder on it on both sides, and they ain't going nowhere. Like, they're tight. That's because I heated up the terminal enough to where the solder actually fused to the terminal, and then the wire covered in solder fuses there too. Day 713 of installing the Supra speakers. We finally got Jerry out here, and he is a no shit professional installer. He used to do some crazy stuff back in the day to all kinds of cars, including some competition style stuff for himself and his friends, and he offered to help me do this because he's a fucking champion and I need help because snaking wires and figuring out what's going on is not my forte. So the reason you see Jerry over here taking the other side's A-pillar cover off is because I forgot to record it when he was taking it off of my side. Now you're going to see him working on the driver's side now. It's probably like one tiny little metal bracket that's in the way. And now it's not. There it is. So what Jerry did is he took this metal clothes hanger with the sheath over it and electrical taped the end of the wire to that clothes hanger. And then he snaked it through and now he's pulling it up where you see it right here. It's going down and out. Word.
You just want to give yourself enough play and then just chop what you don't need.
Speaker wire's cheap.
Hook this side to your tweeter. You know, but like here, you try to strip that, then you're going to try to solder it to that.
It's going to be a pain in the ass.
It's a pain. You might end up, you know, the solder might end up burning the dash. So I didn't have to remove the dash.
So he didn't have to remove the dash, he says. Hey, everyone told me I had to remove the dash. 10 seconds later and Jerry's already freaking done with this side. Oh God.
Like I said, when you're working with hangers, make sure you use the coated ones.
And just like that, Jerry already routed the other wire through the little hole. Proof to you guys that you shouldn't have to take the damn dash off to do your tweeters, so don't be afraid of doing your tweeters. Like, for instance, look how gorgeous that is. Oh. So now, all we're gonna do is hook up the tweeter to the short side and then route the long side to the radio. Just way too much wire. We'll cut it down if we need it, but yeah. I'm gonna start taking off the faceplate, and then I'll get back. We took the faceplate off with the one screw I had in because I was just kind of temp installed it. We're gonna take out 1, 2, 3, and 4 right there, and take the radio out slightly. We're not gonna disconnect the whole thing, I don't think, but Jerry's the mastermind, so we'll see what he wants to do. Radio's out, kind of just temped out, and this is the aftermarket harness you have to use for an American stereo on a Japanese car, or any stereo on a Japanese car, or any car really. And then yeah, you got the stock harness here and here. Yeah. The wires that we're going to tap into are right here. Blue and teal, and then purple and pink right there.
So this is the ground wire on the harness.
Mm-hmm.
Everything on the bottom or on the speaker side is negative.
Really?
So that's negative, that's negative. The part that's receiving power will always have a male disconnect.
Mm.
The part that's giving power will have a female.
We cut the connector off the door speakers, and we're going to extend the wires just a little bit so we can have some playroom, and then we're going to connect the wires to the speaker and put the bracket on. I'll show you how. So, stock positives and negatives on the door have wire connectors on them.
You're one of the very few people that says that they were willing to learn that actually is doing work.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna make you do it, Jerry. Fuck. And to be honest, I like electronic shit. Like, it's easy. It's just the theory behind it's a little different. One down. One to go.
On the back side is where all the harnesses are.
So here you're gonna see me snaking the wire down. We already pulled it through the actual tweeter hole and out, but it's really hard to actually get it down from there. So we pull it out, reattach it, and send it down to the floor. To the bottom.
So if you feel like a harness, try to back off.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to get in there.
Let me see. You might have to go that side. You might want to go that side.
No, I'm gonna try doing it.
Oh, you're gonna try it?
Yeah. Well, the damn camera died, which is great. But all we did, we took the snake and we routed it. What Jerry was saying, route it as close to this as you can. This portion, this outside edge, and send the wire down. And eventually, when you get under there, you will actually see the snake almost immediately. It's cool to pull this wire through all the way, right?
Yep, because you still got another foot for the tweeter.
Yeah. There you go. Now, pulling it from the tweeter, and the one down there is working. So we are good. Let's go. So, you know, my head was down there, my butt was right here, my feet were up here. I was literally like a dead damn cockroach on my back, just making sure that I can pull that wire through correctly. And we did. So pretty successful, man. We are making really good progress. All right, so just as a recap, we put our wire connectors there for our speaker. We have the wires on the speaker soldered to it. You guys just saw that. We routed the wire that we didn't have to take the dash off for, like every other Supra owner says you have to do. We just took off the damn A-frame panels and then routed it from the speaker tweeter hole to out here, and then from there straight down to, you know, here. What's gonna happen is we're gonna put the crossovers, we're gonna tape them together back to back, and we're gonna put them in this giant friggin' space we have in here. And then we're gonna attach one half of the harness wire to the in, and then we're gonna send the tweeter wire back there, put it in, and the woofer wire is going to be the other half of the harness. So it's going to be super nice and super clean and looks super stock. What you're seeing Jerry do now is he actually routed his side of the wire, pulled the carpet, pulled it under, and now pulled it through the center console. Alright, so the wire is right here, this one. It goes under the carpet, up underneath the, or near that foot holder, and then up through there and out right here. Look at that. So now we have left and right tweeters right there. Boom. So we have the stock harness back here that connects to the aftermarket harness. So we know that the blue and green that is also right here is on the stock harness, obviously, is this door. So the aftermarket one, they connect on the first phase 1 and phase 2, so that means that the first phase 1 and phase 2 are here. Best part about this is to keep us from just making all these breaks in all these wires. The aftermarket harness literally has connectors. So the harness side comes down to the 2 connectors, and we disconnected them from the actual piece that goes to the radio right there. And we put some extenders on. So those extenders are now going to go directly to the woofers. Jerry's being a fucking overzealous goddamn beaver over here. Alright, there we go. All 6 wires are connected. All 6 wires are connected. And we're going to quickly do the same exact thing to the other wires on the other side. Should take about 10 minutes, but whatever, let's go. Alright, so all 6 wires hooked up on the left, all 6 wires hooked up on the right. Everything done the right way. Looks like a mess, but it's all going to be hidden anyway, and it's all going to be tucked away and wrapped up nicely. So let's go. So I did the thing. So now I'm going to go back and exactly explain what is going on here step by step. So here you have your crossovers, your left tweet, right door, and left door. The next thing you can do is just go ahead and hook your left and right tweeter straight to your positive and negative using the copper and silver that we talked about earlier, right to your crossovers, because we're done with that. And just because I don't want to confuse you, soon I'm going to eliminate the tweeters. We're not going to see them. These wires are already connected. We don't need to worry about them anymore. So we're just going to remove them from the pictures and only focus on the doors and the in power. Here you can see the speaker wires that are coming from the door. Teal is positive and blue is negative on the right. Pink is positive and purple is negative on the left. I know it's kind of weird and backwards here, but whatever. Follow along. And here you can see the 4 wires that go from the radio through the aftermarket harness to the stock harness. And these are the ones that we're going to be cutting and manipulating and adding leads to. If you remember just a minute ago, I got excited because there were actually connectors holding half of the harness together. So I didn't have to cut them. I just disconnected those connectors, and it made it really easy for me to connect leads to those. Here you can see the 4 wires that have been cut from the aftermarket harness. We are going to attach an extender lead to all 8 now of these wires, because it used to be 4. We cut it. Now there's 8 segments there. Each of those are going to have its purpose. The brown lines indicate the extenders that you put onto the radio side of the harness that is now split or cut or whatever. Not all of them will have the connectors like in my video, but all we're doing is attaching them to the crossover's in slot. Also, one important thing. Don't disconnect the aftermarket harness connector from the stock harness connector. That shows where these colors are. Like teal will always be in front of the gray, and so will pink. Those are your positives and negatives. That's how you're going to know which one goes where. So don't disconnect that. This is my aftermarket harness connector. Yours might be completely different. Just know that if the teal wire is in front of that wire, like mine is gray, that's the one that connects that wire to your radio. So make sure you look and pay attention and apply it to your situation, not mine. Just like the brown lines below, the red lines also indicate the same thing. Extenders that we put on these 8 pieces of wire. So take your positive and negative, your teal and blue, the gray and black there, and attach it to the positive and negative of the right side crossover. The dark red lines here are the same thing, extenders that we put onto the wires. And we're going to go ahead and connect them to the positive and negative of the left side crossover box. And then we are done. As long as you made sure that you did positives and negatives appropriately and correctly on your ins and your woofers on both sides, you will have no issues at all, and it's going to be an amazing sound system.
I suck as a cameraman.
I mean, you just gotta point it at it. And then your harness, female to male, all the way down, and female to male. There we go, until it clicks. There you go, connected. Now Jerry's gonna say some fucking smart shit that I didn't do it right. And we'll move right on. Look at that.
Plug your harness back into the hole.
Huh? Oh, yeah, that. There you go. Told you Jerry was gonna say some shit. Fucking told you. Alright, there you go. Clean as a whistle. Fuck me dead. Alright, first test. Oh, thank God. I was like, it's not turning on. Oh my God, it works. Holy shit. Thanks, Jerry. He's gonna start putting in the trim pieces. Got the shifter cover on. Next, we're gonna put the whole friggin' left side of the face on. Jerry's putting on the door panel. We're putting the last 4 QDs on the tweeter wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We still need to figure out how we're gonna cut up the covers for the tweeters. We're just gonna leave these out. We're gonna test on them real fast to make sure they're operating, but we're done. We're fully installed, all 8 speakers. There we go. Alright guys, hopefully that wasn't too crazy. Big thanks to Jerry. I would not have been able to do this without him. He is a fountain of information. Get yourself a Jerry if you're trying to do your Supra's speakers, but hopefully this tutorial can help you guys figure it out. It's super in-depth. It's not a short little bitch-ass video like they do have on YouTube already. It's super explanative. It's got explanations in it, that's what I'm saying. And yeah.
But you know what the best thing is?
What's the best thing?
You got 2 component sets for under $100.
Straight up. I'll put the link to these speakers down in the description. It's Recoil 6.5s component speakers, and they were $43.99 each or $44.99 each. So it's $90 for 8 speakers, and it sounds phenomenal, as you guys heard. So I will post up shorts updates on what I did with the tweeters and the rear housings, but as for now, this video is over. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe if this video helped you. Have a good day. Bye.